All right, so let's hop right into this video. So once you have Cricut Design Space up, you want to come up to the top where it says New Project, hit Blank Canvas, okay? Your screen should look something like this. Now you may have grid lines. If you do, that is perfectly fine, okay? Now, next step would be to come down here to your bottom left where it says 100%, then hit that minus button until it says 25%. And the only reason why I do that is just so that when I add my shape, it is already zoomed out for me, okay? So let's come over here to shapes on your left side, and let's choose this pointed square right here. Click that. I'm going to hit this arrow to hide that toolbar. I'm going to come up here to where it says size, and I'm going to hit this lockbox. Once I hit that lockbox, I can now type in the dimensions of my doormat. So whatever size doormat you're using, you want to type that in right here. I'm going to use the dimensions of a standard size doormat, which is 30 for the width, 18 for the height. Okay. So I'm going to grab from the center of my square in this plus. I'm going to bring it right here in front of me. So I'm going to look to the top left. I'm going to come up to my top left again and hit that black square and change it to the color brown because we have a brown 30 by 18-inch doormat. So the next step will be me showing you how to do the border. So let's duplicate this square twice. Let's bring this down here and bring this down here. And if you didn't catch that, the duplicate button is here to your top right next to the trash can. I'm going to change the color of one of the squares, change it orange. And I'm actually going to change the dimensions of that square. So instead of it being 30 and 18, we're going to subtract 1 from 30 and 1 from 18 and get 29 and 17. But first we want to unlock it. And we're going to change it width 29, height 17. You see that right now that they're not aligned to each other. So what we're going to do now is align it, which means we want to make them center of each other. So I'm going to highlight just like this. I'm going to come up to align and hit center. Align, center. I'm going to come to my bottom right and choose the word slice. Once you hit slice, you can start dragging stuff apart until you see your border. And now here's your border. You can actually delete both of these squares. So I'm just highlighting both of them at the same time and hitting the trash can. So now we want to change this border to black because usually we make our borders black. So I'm going to change that to the color black, just like so. I'm going to bring this up to my doormat. And if you want it to be edge to edge like that, you can absolutely do that. This is your doormat, your design. Make it your own, okay? Now, if you don't want it edge to edge, you can click that border, unlock it by hitting this lockbox again, and then subtracting 1 from both numbers. So 29 and 17. You highlight this, align, center. If you like it like that, keep it like that. If you want to come in some more, you can do 28 and 16. Highlight that, align, center, and do it like that. You can keep coming in some more. Like no matter how low you want to go, just keep going until it's how you want it, okay? Now, for my design, I do 28 and 16. Highlight, align, center. Okay. So the next step, we're going to come over here to images and we're going to do roof outline. You can find you any roof outline. You don't have to use mine. You can use anyone, okay? But I'm going to use this first one right here. I'm going to hit that arrow again just to hide that toolbar. I'm going to bring this over to my doormat. I'm going to unlock it and I'm just going to make it smaller for right now. Because once I get my text, I may have to make it smaller, I may have to make it bigger. It just depends once I get my words on here. So now that we have that a little bit smaller, we're going to come over here to text. Okay. And we're going to type in welcome to your. That's it. Just type in welcome to your. We're going to drag this over to the doormat. We're going to come up here to where it says font, Cricut Sans. And we're going to go under system. Now you can go under Cricut and you can find a ton of Cricut designs or Cricut fonts. But we're going to go into system and we're going to type in Times New Roman. or Times New, and you're going to get that font. Now I'm just going to make it bigger. And for right now, we're just going to make it that big. It may not end up being that big, but for right now, we're going to make it that big. I'm going to hit the plus sign, the duplicate button. I'm going to double tap and type in Feature Home. And let's just keep that like that for right now. We're going to duplicate again, drag it down, double tap. Now right here, you might not want to put your next move brought by. If there is something else you want to put, then you can put that versus what I'm about to type. Your next move brought by. Just like that. We're just going to make it smaller. And then this next portion, I just put a name. So for right now, I'll just do my name. Okay. And then I'll do, let's just do Lux Key Group like I have on my mock-up. Lux Key Group. And then we'll do a phone number. Just like that. Okay. Now, at this part, you can kind of like make whatever portions you want bigger. Whatever you want smaller, make it smaller. So like I said again, your design does not have to look like mine. You can make it your own. But I'm going to make my name bigger, and I don't like it when the font does that. Right now I'm going to zoom it in to 50% just so I can see it better. I'm going to put Welcome to Your right there. Feature Home is bigger than Welcome to Your. So let's make Welcome to Your smaller. Just a tad bit. Put that about right there. We can make Feature Home a tad bit bigger so it can fill up a lot of the doormat. Make my roof outline a little bit smaller as well. So right now we're just playing around with it. That's how we're doing. Your next move brought by. I usually make that a little bit smaller so that I can make, the important information bigger. Make the name bigger. And I actually do that in bold. So where it says style, I'm going to hit that and do bold. And I don't know why the font dropped down like that because I don't like when that happens actually. So why did it do that? I have no idea. But it's okay. We'll just work with it. I usually don't like when the font does that. Like if it drops down, it just means like somehow the box isn't the way it's supposed to be. This is how I look at it. But I also do all of this down here in bold just because it's easier to cut it with the machine. See, I don't like how that just did it. Like, why is it doing that? Okay, there you go. And usually that happens because if you hit like this on here, it'll kind of drag your box longer versus doing what you want it to do. See, I don't like that. The box should be close to the font. So like you see how this is close, but when you go like this, it's not as close to the font like it's supposed to be. So you got to always drag by these 4 white corners on the outside, okay? So I'm going to drag by that. Just make this bigger. Now, I've noticed too that some people, like, what is it? It's like, I can't recall. I don't know if it's the name can't be bigger than the brokerage name or the brokerage name, whatever. It's one of those ways. So whenever you're doing that, you may want to ask your customers about that, like which has to be bigger, the brokerage name or the realtor name. I just can't remember right now which one it is. But let's say you want to make that big, and then you get the phone number a decent size and do that like that. Okay. Now, the only thing we're missing is the line that goes under Welcome to Your. So how I do that is, let me zoom back out 25%. I click the brown square, and how we know we're clicking the brown square is because it's green over here. I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to change it to the color black. I'm going to unlock it, and I'm just going to make a thin line. Just make it pretty thin. Now, when it comes to how long I want it, I kind of try to make it around the same length as the Welcome to Your. And if you click on the Welcome to Your, it says the width is 15.53. So I'll just make it, let's see what 15 looks like. I'll take it under there. And I'm going to put it right up under there like that. Nope, let's actually make it 16. Let's see what that looks like. That's a little bit longer. Let's see. See, it's even too thick. Let's make it even thinner. Now that's too thin. Let's see. So you can make your line up under there about 0.122 in height. Okay. Let me try to click it again. Maybe a little bit harder for you to click it. So you can either make your line shorter or longer. What did I say? So it's 15.53. Matter of fact, let's just do 15, not 16. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to look at it to see if I want anything any different. If you like it like this, you can just highlight all of it, come up to a line, and then do center horizontally so that it can all be lined up. Now, if you think something should be, up more, down more, whatever, you can go ahead and fix that now before you get to the final stages. I'm just going to bring Future Home down. And if you want my font sizes of everything, what numbers, then let me go ahead and give that to you now. So the roof outline, the width is 9.988. The height is 2.111. The welcome to your width 15.53, height 1.115. And the line is 15 width, height 0.122. Future home, width 21.897, height 2.153. I know y'all can look at that and do it, but I still call it out. If it makes it easier for you, if you're watching it and then trying to do it at the same time, like you're looking at two different screens, me calling out may be easier. Now, next portion, your next move brought by, width 12.772, height 1.016. The realtor name, width 12.311, height 2.165. Broker's name, width 17.946, height 1.385. Phone number, width 9.722, height 1.197. Okay, now I'm just going back to check again to make sure that joker is aligned and centered. So highlight it, align, center horizontally. Okay, next thing you want to do, you want to come down here and find square basic cut, find this eyeball, hit that eyeball, and that just kind of like hides it for a second. Highlight all of this, come down to your bottom right and hit combine, and then choose weld. Now this is one whole piece and not multiple pieces. Let me undo because I did move that around. So now we want to go back over here and unlock it. Well, not unlock it, but unhide the square basically. We want to highlight all this again and come down to where it says slice. Hit that and drag this off just like that. And you want to delete both of these. So I just highlight both at the same time, delete, and I'm left with this. So now is the portion where you have to go in and put in inner piece. Well, put the lines in your inner pieces. So we'll go over here to shapes. You want to get the same pointed square that you started with. Hit that arrow to hide that toolbar. I'm going to bring this square from grab it in the center to over here. Okay. And I'm going to unlock it. And we're going to change the height to 0.12. 0.12 for the height, okay? We're going to get this line and we're going to take it to the O, okay? Now, this is too long of a line. It's touching the M. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to lock this back because when I hit the down arrow, what I'm about to do is going to shorten it, but also make the line a little bit thinner, okay? And that's what I want at this point. So I'm going to hit this down arrow on the width, and I want to take it to where it's just going in between the O and the M, hitting this brown portion here and also in this brown portion. But this side is okay because it's not going to affect this C. You're going to hit that black line and duplicate it. Take it to this O in the word to. Duplicate it again. Take it to the O in your. Now I'm going to bring it over towards the Y some more so I don't have to shorten it. Duplicate it again and take it to my R. Now, you may say, now how do you know I was supposed to put the line right there? Okay, I'm going to try to show y'all an easier way, okay? So make sure you're clicking on the brown square. You can come down here to your bottom right and hit contour. And basically, when you're looking at certain letters, there's like the black. Oh, it keeps doing that. We don't want to do it like that. But I guess you can click like that. And basically everything that you see in black will basically be where a line needs to be, basically. So the O in welcome, the O in to, the O in your, the R in your, the R in future, the O in home. And then looking at your next move brought by, all those O's, the E's, the G's. Down here in group, the R, the O, the P. And the phone number, the 6 and the 4s. Will all need lines in it, okay? So that could be an easier way for you to look at it if you can't really tell just by looking right here, okay? So let's get this line, duplicate it, take it to the R, duplicate again, take it to this O. Too short, so let's unlock it this time because I don't want my line really to be thicker going across there. I want it kind of still be thin. I'm going to hit the up arrow on width, take it across there. I'm going to duplicate it again. I'm going to take it to this O in your. And this time, I'm going to leave it locked until it gets down to like 0.04-ish, like around there, okay? And then I'm going to unlock it. So that's let's say 0.05, and I'm going to unlock it. And then I'm going to hit the down arrow again until it gets in between the O and the U. And the reason why I end up keeping it locked and letting it go down to 0.05 is because this font here is smaller than this font. So I want a thinner line on this font than I do on these fonts because these are thicker fonts. I mean, yeah, more thicker, bolder fonts. So my line can be a little bit thicker, okay? So I'm going to put that across there correctly. And I'm just going to duplicate a whole bunch of lines at this point. I'm just going to keep taking lines and put it in my letters, just like this. I just want to keep putting it across there. And this is usually the hardest part for most people because they try to figure out, one, where does the lines go? And then you make the mistake of accidentally moving the entire thing like that. Like if that happens, just hit the undo button, okay? So now this one's a little bit shorter. So I want to unlock it this time because I don't want a thicker line. But if you see, let's say for instance, if I hit the up arrow, my line gets thicker, right? So I don't really want it thicker necessarily. So I'm going to hit the undo and take it back to where it was. So I'm going to click it, unlock it, and then make the up arrow. And it's still the same size, basically, just longer. Hit that, take it to this R. To get 2 lines for the O and the P. I'm going to unlock it, hit the up arrow to get across. Same thing for the P. I got a line down here already I can use for my number 6. Unlock it, hit the up arrow, duplicate, move this one to the 4, duplicate again, and take this one to number 4. And let's make sure we have all our lines where they need to go. Looks like we do. And before I do the next step, I want to go ahead and duplicate one more line and just bring it down here. Let's try to bring it down here. Sometimes it's hard to click back on them lines. Just bring it right there out the way. Now let's highlight all of this, just like that. And let's hit combine weld. And now all your lines are in where they're supposed to be at, just like that. And now with this line, let's unlock it and let's make it width 11.5, height 22.5. And the reason for those dimensions is because your Cricut mat is a 12 by 24. So you can't make any designs that's bigger than 11.5 and 22.5. We won't really need to go to 22.5 anyways because the machine will cut it at 18. So 22.5 is good enough. And really I do the 22.5 is because when I add it right here, I can pull from here to move it over, you know, back and forth basically, versus it being 18 and me, oops, wrong one. versus it being 18 and I can't really do much with it besides just kind of like keeping it right here. But I may not get the second piece aligned, so I just make it 22 and a half. It's just easier for me. So duplicate it twice, duplicate the black rectangle twice. Take the first piece to this edge here, come up to arrange, center back. You want to look and see where you want to slice it at. And I don't really want to slice it right here because I'm going to have to add in too many extra lines that I don't really want to add. I will do it at some point. I might still do it right here. Just let me see. Because y'all might run into this. So I got to make sure you know it. What to do if it happens. So let's say I sliced it right here. I slice it there. And you do want to make sure that you have a little bit of black showing at the top. And don't move by this. Move by moving this black portion that's left hanging at the bottom to go forward or backwards. Now I forgot where I had it at. Was it right here? Okay. Let's see. Try this again. Okay, about right there, I guess. Nope, because I'm not going to break it like I want to. Okay, right there. Highlight. Just highlight this area. Hit slice. Pull this over. Pull this down. You have two black pieces behind that brown piece that is now trash. So I just highlight both blacks, hit the trash can. I'm left with this and this piece on this side, okay? You're going to take another black rectangle, take it to the back end. Go to arrange, center back. I'm going to zoom back in, see where I want to slice it. And I will go about right here, okay? I'm going to highlight this. Remember there should be some black showing at the top. Slice, separate. Delete the two blacks. And now you're just left with these three pieces. And this, at this point, this is now your stencils, okay? You're going to use your last black rectangle, and you're going to make it 0.12 for the width this time, and the height 2. And that's just so that you can have a vertical line versus a horizontal one. It is already to the front. So we're going to drag this line, put it right here. And the reason why I'm putting it right here is because your border, all this area right here, is not attached to this middle piece. So adding this line here will attach this border to this center piece. That's all we're doing. And you got to do that on all three pieces. So we're going to put one here. Drag this line over here. Put that one there and put this one here. Now I do make this line longer. So I'm hitting the unlock button up on height. I take it all the way down through here because this top portion here does come apart from all of this here. Okay. Now you might can't see that. So let me try to click this center piece, hit contour. And you can see that this is a piece by itself. That's by itself. It's not attached to none of this. Just like this down here is a piece by itself. So we added that line here that's going to end up combining this together. And then this right here is also a piece by itself that's not connected to this or any of this down here. Okay. So this is one piece by itself. This is two pieces by itself. This is three by itself. This is four by itself. And this is five by itself. So we're creating a line that's going to start from this bottom. The top is going to come straight down through this roof line. So then these three right here will be attached together. You're attaching this bottom one to this middle. So then this will be attached to here. But then we also have to add a line to where this splits. There's a line, that border thing that we put right here under the word welcome to your. We want to put a line through there that will end up holding this whole thing together. Okay, you're going to see what I'm talking about in a second. So we're going to take just this line here. We can duplicate it and just put it right there. Okay. We're going to highlight just this middle piece for right now, just so I can show you what I'm talking about. Now you see how this is one whole piece? It's no longer this is one piece by itself. This is one piece. This is one piece. This is one piece. This is one piece. Now it's all one big piece. And that was the reason for the line, so that when the machine cuts it out, you don't have so many different pieces. You just have one. Okay? So now we're just looking for spots where there may be things that could be also loose. So when we went to contour, you may have noticed it. In this E over here, like when I highlighted green, there's one portion that is black, which means I need a line here because this part of the E will also be missing. So let's just say, see if I can find that piece. If you don't add a line there for that piece, when you put your design together, your stencils together, your E would look like that. Versus it's supposed to look like this here. Let's see if I can bring it back. It's supposed to be like that. Okay. So you're just going to get one of these extra lines. You're going to duplicate it, and you're going to make it a 90-degree angle so it can be horizontal. And you're going to stick that right in there like that. Let's bring it to the front. So I'm going up to arrange, bring it to the front because it went behind the design. And let's stick it right here actually. And I'm going to shorten it. I'm going to hit the down arrow on the height side. And now that line is in there like I want it. So now I can highlight this area again. Combine the weld. Now when I go back to contour, everything is how it's supposed to be. Everything's going to be one piece. See? No black, besides the outline, of course. Yep. So now I'm just going to highlight this piece. Combine weld. And highlight this piece. Combine weld. And now as far as this portion right here in the stencil making process, that is it. The next step would be just you going over here to make, and you're going to see this screen. If you have a Cricut Explorer Air 2, your setting will be poster board. If you have an Explorer Air 3, you can do medium cardstock. And I'm going to try to explain this part right here the best I can. Okay, so you got a Cricut mat in front of you, right? It's a 12 by 24. You're going to start the corner. You're going to start the poster board at the corner of your Cricut mat to where the 0 or the 1, whatever number is right there to your top left, okay? The pointed part of the poster board lays there, okay? Now, on your first cut, it's saying on this side here that it's going to stop around the 10.5, around that part, around that area, okay? So you're going to get your scissors and you're going to cut at the top where the number 11 is and cut straight down. That is it. You do not have to cut it down here at the bottom. You can just cut from the top at the number 11 and go straight down as best as you can. And I say the 11 just because if you accidentally cut too much in, you won't mess it up. Okay? You won't mess it up. So just cut to the 11. Cut number 2 is about around the same thing. Just cut another one at the 11. Okay? You do not have to cut the bottom. Just cut at the 11 straight down. Cut number 3. This one is around the 10. You see how it stops over here? The number 10 is right here. You can just cut right around the 10 line or a little past the 10 just in case you cut off too much, okay? And after that, you're going to let your machine do all the work. You're going to tape that stencil together and you're going to make that doormat. So I hope this video helps y'all. Leave those comments because I know y'all going to have some questions. So please feel free to ask them.